Wake up, wake up, wake up. We are about to trade another slice of life for whatever you choose today. When this day is spent, it is finished, it is gone. You cannot rewind it. You cannot refund it. You can only redeem it by deciding differently while it is still in your hands. Ephesians 5:14-16 says, wake up, O sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Read out loud. Go. Redeem the time. Why? Because time is the currency of destiny. Time is what you spend to become. Time is the equal gift billionaire, beggar, black, white, old, young, 24 hours. The difference is not time received. The difference is time redeemed. Everybody say destiny. Again, destiny. Let me be your father for a moment and correct you with love. Your emotions are not qualified to run your life. Feelings are wonderful servants, but terrible masters. Anger is loud, but unwise. Fear is fast, but blind. Offense is hot, but foolish. Do not let your feelings fire your future. Make decisions based on your destiny. Write this down. My destiny must be the decision maker, especially about my job. This is not anti-quitting. This is anti-impulsive quitting. I am not here to chain you to a chair. I am here to chain you to your calling. If you must resign, resign on purpose, not in panic. If you must leave, leave led, not leaked. And to help you, I will give you a practical tool, a 5-part destiny decision grid you will run every idea through before you hand in any notice. We will test your decision by purpose, by season, by skill, by provision, and by peace. But first, ask the question that saves casualties. Is this season a transition, a test, or a trap? Write it down. Say it to yourself. Not every discomfort is destiny's dismissal. Sometimes pain is a professor. God created time, but he doesn't live in it. Time is his mercy, an interruption in eternity so you can grow. Genesis 1:14 declares, he set lights to mark seasons and days and years. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. That means your decisions, especially job decisions, must respect seasons. Right move, wrong season becomes the wrong move. So before you run on feelings, locate the season. Is God maturing you? Is he moving you? Or is the enemy baiting you? I want to ask you a question that will not leave you comfortable. What are you going to do with the next 12 months? What will you buy with your hours by this time next year? Redeem the time. Document a plan. Establish your priorities. Do not try to please everyone. Protect your minutes from other people's emergencies. The grid is coming. The steps are coming. But your heart must shift now. Destiny first, emotion last. Wake up and decide like a steward, not a slave. Now, let's lay the foundation under your feet. Write this down. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours. Time is the most common gift God gave to humans. Time is the only equal currency on earth. Old, young, male, female. Black, white, Asian, Latino, 24 hours. The difference is not in hours received. The difference is in hours redeemed. Time is a currency. You can invest it, you can waste it, and yes, you can have it stolen. People can steal your money and you can make more, but when they steal your time, they have robbed you of your life. Your next job decision is a purchase in the store of destiny. You are about to buy an outcome with hours you cannot refund. So I ask you as a father, are you paying the right price for the wrong product? Read out loud, go, Ephesians 5:15-17. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Be very careful, wise, redeem, understand his will. Notice the sequence: wisdom, then redemption, then will. That means you don't redeem time by being busy. You redeem time by understanding God's will and then investing your hours into it. Busyness is not productivity. Activity is not destiny. Quitting without a plan is time theft against your own destiny. You robbed your future self and called it faith. Faith is not foolishness. Faith hears God's will and then buys it with disciplined hours. Let me give you a picture. A young man named Marcus stormed out of his job on a Friday because his supervisor bruised his pride. He purchased Saturday's freedom with 6 months of regret. Bills did not respect his feelings. Purpose did not move because he moved. Meanwhile, his friend Leah stayed 1 year longer, not out of fear, but out of purpose. She wrote a 1-2-month plan, took a night course to sharpen her skill, built 6 months of provision, met weekly with wise counsel, and protected her mornings for prayer. When she resigned, she didn't fall, she stepped. Same 24 hours, different investment strategy. One spent time, one sold time. Which are you? Write this down. Time invested by God's will produces compound purpose. Time wasted by emotions produces compounding loss. Treat your next move as a portfolio decision. Ask, will these hours appreciate my assignment or depreciate it? Does this new role pay me in money but cost me in mission? Does it advance my calling or distract my soul? Why is this so important? Because God created time on purpose for purpose. Time is not random, it is regulated. It is God's gracious economy for growth. In a moment, I will show you why he carved time out of eternity and how seasons govern your vocational choices. But hear me now. Until your hours are aligned with his will, every exit is expensive and every entrance is a gamble. Redeem the time. Pay for your future with wisdom, not with impulse. Now step with me into eternity's clock. Genesis 1:14 says, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Read out loud. Go for seasons and for days and years. God created time, but he does not live in it. Time is his invention. Eternity is his address. Why did he make time? Mercy. Time is a compassionate interruption in eternity so that immature things can grow without being judged as final. Write this down. Time is mercy for maturation. Time is the incubator of your assignment. Ecclesiastes 3 declares, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. And verse 11 says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. The word beautiful there means mature, fully developed, complete. Why is that important? Because if beauty is maturity, then rushing is vandalism. Do not abort the maturation season by reaction. Some of you are about to resign because of discomfort, but discomfort may be the womb of your next level. Seeds don't complain about soil. They interpret pressure as process. Write this down. Pain is not always a problem. Often it is a process. Redeem the time by respecting the process. Vocational choices, therefore, are seasonal stewardship, not emotional outbursts. Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time. Stewardship asks, what season am I in? Is this a sowing season, a pruning season, a learning season, a launching season? A farmer does not fire the field because it is winter. He studies, sharpens tools, repairs fences, and waits for spring. Right move, wrong season becomes the wrong move. Right resignation, wrong timing becomes sabotage. Write this down. Seasons determine strategy, not feelings, not fans, not fear. Time is God's grace that lets you grow into what he already saw. Before he formed you in the womb, he knew you. Then he placed you in time to become what he knew. That is why I beg you, redeem the time. Ask the Lord, what are you maturing in me this quarter, this year? The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours. The difference is who discerns the season and buys the right outcome with their hours. You do not buy destiny in a rush. You purchase it in installments of obedience across seasons. So here's the law. Do not make permanent decisions in temporary seasons. Do not leave a testing season with a quitting decision when God is trying to graduate you. Count the cost, yes. Seek counsel, yes. But let the calendar of heaven set your moves. When the season is fulfilled, you won't have to force it. Peace and provision will synchronize. And this becomes our bridge. To steward seasons, you must distinguish your job from your life's work. A job fits a season, your work fits your life. In the next movement, we will separate paycheck from purpose, so you stop resigning from assignments while only changing employers. Wake up, redeem the time, respect the season, then decide. Now hear me as a father. If you don't know your work, you will keep changing jobs and keep meeting the same frustration at a new desk. Write this down. Your job is a position. Your work is your assignment. Jobs change. Purpose does not. A job is where you get paid. Your work is why you were born. A paycheck is provision for a season. Your purpose is the reason for your existence. God may use a job to fund your journey, but he never intended a paycheck to become your identity. Never make a job decision until you have clarity about your life's work. Psalms 90:12 says, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Read out loud. Go. Teach us to number our days. Why? So we can apply our hearts to wisdom. And what is wisdom? Write this down. Wisdom is purpose-aligned use of time. Time is not wise until it is invested in your assignment. Time is a currency. If you spend it on the wrong product, you will live in buyer's remorse. Redeem the time by identifying the why before choosing the where. Let me help you with a mirror. If you resign from a job without revealing your work, you will resign again only poorer and more tired. Nadia jumped roles 3 times in 2 years because she thought geography could cure confusion. New office, old emptiness. New manager, same restlessness. Why? Because location cannot do what revelation must do. You don't escape frustration by quitting. You transform frustration by clarifying your assignment. The question is not, should I leave? The question is, what am I leaving to? If you cannot state your work in a sentence, you are not ready to sentence your resignation. Your work is discovered, not decided. It is encoded in your design, gifts, burdens, patterns of fruitfulness, the problem you are irritated enough to solve. Your job is a platform. Your work is the performance. Jobs are seasonal tense. Your work is the house. You can be fired from a job. You cannot be fired from your gift. Write this down. Do not let your employer's agenda replace your eternal assignment. Do not try to please everyone. Protect your identity from other people's interests. If a title hijacks your time but starves your talent, it is expensive, even if the salary is high. So before you type that notice, submit your decision to the destiny decision grid. The grid will separate impulse from instruction. It will ask, does this move advance my purpose? Does it respect the season? Have I stewarded my skill? Is there wise provision? Do I have peace and witness? We will walk each check slowly, but settle this now. Your work governs your jobs. Your destiny governs your decisions. Wake up, redeem the time, number your days. Then choose your next position as a servant of your assignment, not a slave of your emotions. Write this down. A destiny-aligned move must clear 5 checks on paper with counsel. Not in your head, not in your feelings, on paper with counsel. I call it the destiny decision. Grid, purpose, season, skill, provision, and peace. This is how you redeem the time. This is how you make decisions like a steward, not a slave. Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. Read out loud. Go. Purpose prevails. Therefore, purpose is the master check. Here is how you use the grid. Give each check a score from 1 to 5. 1 means poor alignment, weak evidence, mostly emotion. 5 means strong alignment, clear evidence, confirmed by fruit and counsel. Add the 5 numbers. If your total is below 20 out of 25, do not resign. Do not move. Seek more clarity and correction. If you are at 20 to 22, proceed only with wise, purpose-informed counsel and a written plan. 23 to 25 with counsel is a green light, but still with discipline and dates. Why so strict? Because time is a currency and you cannot afford buyer's remorse with your destiny. Let me define the checks briefly so you don't lie to yourself. Purpose. Does this move advance your assignment? Can you draw a straight line from the new decision to the problem God designed you to solve? Season. Is this God's timing? Is this a transition, a test, or a trap? Ecclesiastes 3 says he makes all things beautiful, mature in its time. Skill and stewardship. Have you maximized what you have where you are? Have you sharpened, produced fruit, added value, or are you running from growth? Provision and prudence. Is there wisdom in the numbers? Luke 14:28. Which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Faith is not financial amnesia. Peace and witness. Do you have the inner witness of the Spirit and the external confirmation of wise voices? Colossians 3:15 says, let the peace of Christ rule. The word rule means umpire. Let peace call the balls and strikes. Guardrail. Seek counsel, but not a crowd. Where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Proverbs 11:14. Notice it says counselors, not complainers. Choose qualified voices, those who know your purpose, have fruit in their own stewardship, and love you enough to say no. Do not try to please everyone. Approval is a poor advisor. 2 or 3 witnesses establish a matter. 2 Corinthians 13:1. Get witnesses, not cheerleaders. Now, write this down. If it is not written, it is not a plan. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain so he may run who reads it. Put the decision and the grid on paper. Attach dates, dollars, disciplines, and deliverables. Time bound it. Assign responsibilities. Protect it with boundaries on your calendar. Plan your day or your day will be planned by somebody else. Redeem the time. We begin with the master check. Purpose. If it does not serve your assignment, it is not your next step. Everybody say purpose. Again, purpose. Let purpose prevail, then let every other check submit. Now, let's dive into check 1. Purpose first. Write this down. If it does not advance your assignment, it is not your next step. Proverbs 19:21 declares, many are the plans in a man's heart, but the Lord's purpose shall prevail. Read out loud, go. Purpose prevails. That means your feelings don't prevail. Your frustrations don't prevail. Even your clever plans don't prevail. Purpose prevails. So the first check in this grid is the master check. Ask it like a surgeon with a scalpel, not like a shopper with a cart. Does this decision clarify my calling, accelerate my calling, or dilute my calling? Now, how do you know? Evidence, not emotion. Write this down. Identify the problem you were born to solve and the people you are assigned to serve. Who suffers when you waste time? Whose future improves when you show up? Your calling always has a who and a why. If the next step gives you more hours, more access, and more leverage to serve that who and solve that why, then it is purpose aligned. If it pays more but steals time from your assignment's people, it is expensive even if the salary is high. Time is a currency. Do not buy vanity at the cost of vocation. Redeem the time. Practical now. Put away the fog. Write your purpose in 1 sentence. 1, if you cannot write it in a sentence, you are not ready to write a resignation. Try this structure. I exist to verb people by unique contribution so that problem is solved and result appears. For example, I exist to equip emerging leaders by designing transformational learning so that confusion becomes clarity and potential becomes performance. Good. Now take the job description in your hand and map the duties to that sentence, line by line. Ask of each duty, does this clarify my calling, accelerate it, or dilute it? If 70% or more of the duties accelerate or clarify, you have alignment. If you are at 50% or less, you are paying in purpose to collect a paycheck. Do not call that stewardship. Call it what it is, drift. Let me help you with a story. Aisha felt drawn to advocate for vulnerable girls through education. A glamorous corporate role chased her with a title and a car. She wrote her sentence, then she mapped the duties. Global expense audits, vendor negotiations, late night compliance calls, prestige, but no proximity to her assignments people. She declined and chose a smaller title in a nonprofit that placed her in classrooms twice a week and policy tables once a month. 2 years later, her impact multiplied and her provision grew. Why? Purpose prevails. She didn't chase applause. She pursued assignment. Do not try to please everyone. Please the one who authored your purpose. Diagnostic questions to test your heart. Does this move deepen my intimacy with God and increase my obedience? Does it focus my energy on my design or scatter me across distractions? Will this decision increase measurable service to my assigned people within the next 12 months? Write this down. Purpose must be measurable in service, not just memorable in slogans. Attach numbers to love hours with your who, products delivered to your why, results produced for your assignment. And hear me as a father. If bitterness is pushing you, that is not purpose. If boredom is driving you, sharpen, don't ship out. Purpose is not an escape hatch. It is an entrance to responsibility. Redeem the time by aligning your daily duties with your eternal design on paper with counsel before you move. Even so, alignment does not automatically mean authorization. A role can fit your purpose and still be mistimed. Right move, wrong season becomes the wrong move. So after you pass the purpose check, we submit the decision to the next judge. Season. Is this a transition, a test, or a trap? We will discern the moment so you do not vandalize what God is maturing. Everybody say season. Write this down. Right move, wrong season becomes the wrong move. Discern the moment. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. Read out loud. Go. To every purpose a time. Your emotions do not know the time, your spirit must. So we ask the question with fear of God. Is this a transition, a test, or a trap? A transition is God shifting you. The cloud moves, you move. Signs, the grace for the old roll begins to lift. You can still do it, but it doesn't flow. New doors open with timing, not just talk. Provision and peace start synchronizing toward a new assignment. There is convergence, confirmations align from the word, from wise counsel, and from recurring circumstances. Revelation 3:8, behold, I have set before you an open door which no one can shut. In transition, the door is set, not forced. You feel release, not rebellion. Projects complete, baton passes become obvious. You are not running away, you are being sent. Isaiah 43:19 says, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? In transition, you perceive. A test is God maturing you. He loves you too much to promote your talent while your character is still a liability. Signs, character stretch, patience required, humility demanded, forgiveness practiced, skill demand. You are pressed to sharpen what you neglected. Mentors affirm growth, not escape. And hear me, leave early and the exam will meet you in the next classroom by a different name. Psalm 105:19 speaks of Joseph. Until the time that his word came to pass, the word of the Lord tested him. James 1-2, 4 commands. Count it all joy, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Let patience have its perfect work, that you may be mature. A test produces maturity. It never asks you to betray your values to get relief. If quitting feels like cheating, it's a test. Stay and grow. Redeem the time by graduating, not by dropping out. A trap is the enemy distracting you. The bait is shiny, the hook is hidden. Signs, flattery replaces fruit. Urgency without clarity. Sign now, decide later. Isolation from wise counsel. You stop calling the people who ask hard questions. Compromise of values. Tiny, just as once decisions that stain your conscience. Proverbs 29:5 warns, a man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. And 1 Peter 5-8 says, be sober, be vigilant. Your adversary, the devil, prowls. If the path requires secrecy, deception, or abandoning your assignments, people for applause, it is a trap. Do not try to please everyone. Please the one who called you. Action time. Write this down. Data beats drama. Before you decide, journal 30 days of patterns every day. Track your energy when you're alive versus your fruit, results that matter. Your favor, doors that open. Your feedback, what mentors and your assigned people say. Your fights, recurring resistances. and your finances provision flow. Feelings are weather, patterns are climate. After 30 days, submit the journal to 2 or 3 qualified counselors. Proverbs 11:14, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. Let peace and witnesses weigh the season. Here is your bridge. If it is a test, grow your skill, sharpen, produce, submit, and graduate. If it is a transition, prepare your skill for the next assignment, pack, train, and document a time-bound exit. If it is a trap, shut the door, strengthen your boundaries, and stay put under authority until clarity and peace return. Redeem the time, discern the season, then decide. Now we face the mirror that many avoid: skill and stewardship. Write this down. God will not promote negligence. Excellence is a kingdom witness. Do not resign from sharpening. Resign from stagnation. Skill is how purpose becomes credible. Proverbs 22:29 asks, do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. Read out loud, go. Stand before kings. That is not favoritism. That is fruit. Colossians 3:23 commands, whatever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord. And 2 Timothy 2:15 says, study to show yourself approved. Approval follows study. Standing follows sharpening. Redeem the time by upgrading your tools. Inventory time. Write this down. Identify the top 3 skills your assignment requires, not the 3 you like, the 3 it demands. Be honest. Rate your current proficiency from 1 to 5 evidence, not ego. Ask for 3, 6, 0 degree feedback from those you serve and those who supervise you. Luke 16:10 says, he who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. If you have ignored the little disciplines of your craft, reading, rehearsal, review, why should heaven entrust you with larger platforms? Ecclesiastes 10:10 declares, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. Many of you are sweating because your axe is dull, not because your calling is wrong. Stop attacking trees with a spoon. Sharpen the blade. Plan now. Take an evening class. Find a mentor who has fruit, not just followers. Change your library. Replace 2 hours of entertainment each evening with 2 hours of training. Convert scrolling into studying, binging into building. Do not try to please everyone. Your friends will survive if you miss the group chat. Your destiny may not if you miss this window. Write this down. Change your input, change your output. Guard your calendar. Plan your day, or your day will be planned by somebody else. Set daily practice blocks, mornings before noise, evenings before sleep. Choose a syllabus, 12 weeks, 3 modules per skill, weekly deliverables. Tie your training to your assignments, people. Practice where it will matter. Metrics, not wishes. Define 9-0 day upskilling goals with measurable outcomes. By day 30, complete 1 core course and produce 1 portfolio artifact or deliverable. By day 60, ship a 2nd artifact and secure 1 performance review or mentor critique. By day 90, present a tangible improvement metric, faster cycle time, higher quality score, increased response rate, improved accuracy, attach numbers, schedule it. Calendar blocks are moral commitments to your future self. If it is not on the calendar, it is not in your life. Habakkuk said, write the vision and make it plain, so he may run who reads it. Write your learning plan and then run it. The master in Matthew 25 did not say, well dreamt, good and faithful servant. He said, well done. Caution, boredom is not a green light, and applause is not a skill. If you have not maximized what you have where you are not leaving, you are leaking. Finish the course. Deliver the excellence. Let results speak. Then if the season still says move, you will move as a graduate, not a dropout. And hear the bridge clearly. Skilled but starving is not stewardship. After sharpening, we must ask if there is wisdom in the numbers. Redeem the time, then check provision. Write this down. Faith is not financial amnesia. Wisdom counts the cost before building. Jesus said in Luke 14:28, read out loud, go, which of you intending to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost to see whether he has enough to finish it? Sit down, count, finish. If you won't do the math, don't type the resignation. God funds vision through order. Joseph did not rebuke famine, he prepared for it. Genesis 41 shows a strategy: store during plenty so you can govern during scarcity. He saved the fifth 20% for 7 years. Provision is strategic, not spooky. Write this down. Heaven honors budgets. Runway now. Rule of thumb for a voluntary exit: 12 months of core expenses in cash equivalents or signed revenue contracts that replace your paycheck. Not promises, not likes on your post. Signed. If you are single, if you have dependents, debt, or a long sales cycle, target 12. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Plans are numbers with dates. Redeem the time by building runway before takeoff. Inventory your reality. List every recurring cost: housing or rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, medical, childcare, debt payments, tithes and offerings, taxes, software, phone, internet, subscriptions, professional dues. If you can't name it, you can't steward it. Add it up for a true monthly burn. Next, list every reliable income stream: salary, retainers, recurring clients, contracts. Remove maybe only what is signed counts. Write this down. Fantasy income is theft from your future. Subtract income from expenses. That gap is the runway need, multiplied by 612. That number is your savings target or contracted revenue requirement before you submit your notice. Attach dates by month 3. Save X by month 6. Secure Y contracts by month 9. Eliminate Z debt. Habakkuk again. Write it and run it. Debt is a leash. Proverbs 22:7 warns, the borrower is servant to the lender. If your exit increases bondage, it is not liberty, it is lunacy. Attack high interest debt now. Negotiate rates. Cut subscriptions. Sell excess. Downsize temporarily. This is not punishment, it is positioning. You are converting lifestyle into runway. Do not try to please everyone. Those who mock your simplicity will not pay your bills in famine. Bridge options are wisdom, excellence, not escape. Negotiate a part-time arrangement, a contract consultancy, or remote hours that let you deliver outstanding results while freeing blocks to build the next assignment. Offer a transition plan, document processes, train your replacement, deliver KPIs for 90 days. You honor the house you're leaving while funding the house you're building. Colossians 4:5 says, walk in wisdom toward outsiders, making the best use of the time. That includes using bridges, not burning them. Guardrail on generosity: give with discretion. Proverbs 11:25 promises the generous will prosper, but Proverbs 3:27 adds, do not withhold good when it is in your power to act. If it is not in your power, if it jeopardizes your runway, you are gifting presumption, not love. 1 Timothy 5-8 commands you to provide for your own household. Set a monthly give line in the budget and keep it. Do not let other people's emergencies detour your exit plan. Boundaries protect benevolence. Redeem the time. Redeem the dime. When the math says finish, not just start, when savings or signed revenue meets the target, debt is tamed, bridges are set, and generosity is ordered, you have prudence. Then and only then do we submit the numbers to the next check. Peace and witness. Let the umpire call it. Now we submit the spreadsheets to the Spirit. Colossians 3:15, read out loud, go. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. The word rule means umpire. Write this down. Peace calls balls and strikes. Peace is not passive, it is judicial. It makes a ruling, not your adrenaline, not your anger, not your applause. Peace rules. If peace does not call it safe, do not run. Distinguish this carefully. Relief is not peace. Relief removes pressure now. Peace establishes direction long term. Relief says, get me out. Peace says, send me forth. Relief hides. Peace guides. How do you know which you carry? Write this down. Relief dissolves when the crowd leaves. Peace deepens when the room is quiet. Relief is the nap after an argument. Peace is the song that remains at dawn. If quitting tastes like revenge, that is not peace. If staying feels like cowardice, that is not peace. Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit. Witness, not panic. If fear is the loudest voice, wait. Redeem the time. Do not let pressure hire you as its employee. Now the witness test. By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word shall be established. 2 Corinthians 13:1. Not any two. Mature, mission-minded, fruit-bearing voices who can say no to you and you will still love them. Do not coach your counselors. Do not send a script asking them to bless your bias. Send the grid, not the speech. Ask them to pray, to interrogate, to test motives, to weigh scripture, to question numbers. Wise counsel confirms without collusion. If your yes requires you to avoid the people who tell you the truth, you are not pursuing destiny. You are shopping for permission. Do not try to please everyone. Please God and honor the counsel that guards you from self-deception. Here is the fruit test. James 3:17 says, the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits. Write this down. True peace produces clarity, creativity, and character, not just comfort. After you pray, do you see steps more clearly? Do ideas multiply? Does your temper become gentle, your language cleaner, your generosity steadier? Or do you become secretive, cynical, and sloppy with integrity? Galatians 5:22. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, fruit, not flares. If what you call peace makes you lazy, it is sedation, not guidance. Practical protocol. Do a 7 2-hour peace audit. Day 1, pray and journal the decision with scripture. Day 2, attach dates, dollars, and deliverables to the decision. Make it concrete. Day 3, submit it to 2 or 3 qualified counselors and wait. If peace increases as the plan gets specific, that is witness. If peace evaporates when numbers and deadlines arrive, that was fantasy. Philippians 4:6-7 promises a peace that guards your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Guard is a military term. Peace stands at the door with a sword. Let it move when peace and wise confirmation agree. Emotion alone is not a green light. If either is missing, pause, sharpen, save, and seek. Redeem the time. And now, with all 5 checks cleared or clarified on paper, we must protect what we have decided. Your plan will fail if your boundaries are weak. Guard your calendar. Guard your associations. Use discretion. We move next to the protection protocols that keep destiny from being stolen by other people's emergencies. Guard your calendar. Your plan will fail if your boundaries are weak. Ephesians 5:15-16 commands, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Read out loud, go, redeem the time. Time is a currency. Time is a vault. Time is a gate. If you do not guard the gate, thieves will schedule your destiny for you. Write this down. Protect your priorities from other people's interests. Do not try to please everyone. Inventory your associations. Walk with the wise and become wise. A companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 13:20. Bad company corrupts good character. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Write 3 columns. Column 1, destiny depositors. Names of people who increase your discipline. Ask hard questions and multiply your focus. Column 2, neutral neighbors, good people, low pull, schedule them sparingly. Column 3, destiny drainers, those who argue with your assignment, mark your margins, or monetize your time. Everybody will not pass customs at your border. Decide visas. Depositors get fast-track access. Neutrals get scheduled windows. Drainers get love at a distance. Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. Your calendar is your heart on paper. Guard it. Create an access policy. Nehemiah 6:3 is your script. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. Write this down. Office hours, response windows, priority gates. Office hours set blocks for calls and meetings, for example, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2-5 p.m. No random pop-ins. Response Windows email replies within 48 hours for covenant priorities only. Everything else waits for the scheduled block or receives a polite no. Priority gates, every request must clear at least one of your top 3 quarterly priorities, or it is parked for 30 days or declined. Use a standard sentence. Thank you for thinking of me. I am at capacity for the next 90 days executing name priority. I bless you to find the right fit. Write this down. A clear no today protects a better yes tomorrow. Do not try to please everyone. Social Media Inside asks, if the average adult spends 2 to 4 hours a day scrolling, that is 6,120 hours a month. 3 full-time work weeks purchased by algorithms. Redeem the time. Convert distraction hours into development hours. Move non-essential apps off your home screen. Set a 15-minute timer per session. Institute a 7 p.m. digital sundown. Swap 1 hour of scrolling for 1 hour of shopping. 5 days a week, that's 260 hours a year, the equivalent of 6 college courses or a product launch. Silence notifications during your prime brain hours. If a side act does not serve purpose, season, skill, provision, or peace, it enters the wait list or exits the border. Establish discretion protocols. Give with discretion. Schedule benevolence to a budget line and time block, not to guilt. Plan sacred blocks, morning word and prayer, weekly family night, Sabbath rest, training windows. Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed, Luke 5:16. If the Son of God needed boundaries to fulfill his assignment, so do you. Now the bridge with protection in place, associations inventory, access policy written, distractions converted, priorities guarded. You are ready to choose an exit path that matches your grid score. Stay, shape, stage, or sprint. Don't let your mood pick. Let your boundaries and your numbers point the way. Redeem the time. Everybody say path. Write this down. Choose an exit path that matches your grid, not your mood. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. If the grid cleared, purpose, season, skill, provision, and peace. The season will announce your path. Destiny decides. Emotions obey. Redeem the time. Path 1, stay and grow. This is for a test season. Remain 6-12 months with a written skill plan, not vibes, paperwork. Proverbs 27-23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Know your gaps. Draft a 1-2 month syllabus with 4, 9, 0 day modules. Weekly 2-hour practice blocks on the calendar. Monthly mentor check-ins with someone who can grade you, not flatter you. Quarterly reviews with your supervisor, tied to clear KPIs, quality score, cycle time, error rate, client results. Deliver portfolio artifacts each quarter that prove growth. James 1:4, let patience have its perfect work, that you may be mature, stay, sharpen, submit, and graduate. Do not try to please everyone. Please the purpose that sent you. Path 2, shape the role. This is transition in place. The season says move, but the move may be inside the house. Propose a redesign tied to purpose. Nehemiah 2:18. Let us rise up and build. Arrive with a 1-page proposal. 3 projects that align with your assignment. The value to the organization, KPIs, and a 90-day pilot timeline. Offer to document processes and cross-train teammates. Set bi-weekly check-ins. Keep a wins ledger, dated, quantified outcomes. At 90 days, present evidence. Revenue increase, costs reduced, impact expanded. If the house embraces it, you moved without moving. If they refuse purpose persistently, your data becomes your exit letter. Redeem the time by shaping, not sulking. Path 3, stage the exit. This is a planned transition. Luke 14:28, sit down and count the cost. Set a 90, 180-day runway. Savings target, 6-12 months of core expenses or signed contracts that replace 100% of income. Build a client pipeline with dated milestones, X discovery calls weekly, Y proposals sent, Z contracts signed by specific dates. Write SOPs, train your replacement, deliver a 30609 zero knowledge transfer, schedule your resignation date after the stewardship boxes are checked, savings met, pipeline active, debt reduced, peace confirmed by witnesses. 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order, leave bridges unburned and blessings abundant. Path 4, sprint to safety. Abuse, illegality, or value violations require speed and integrity. Proverbs 22:3, the prudent sees danger and hides himself. Ephesians 5:11, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. Document incidents with dates and evidence. Seek counsel from elders and legal or HR authorities. Protect your safety, your witness, and your records. Exit promptly, cleanly, without slander. 2 Corinthians 8:21, we aim to do what is honorable, not only in the Lord's sight, but also in the sight of man. God will provide, you must obey. Write this down. Every path requires paperwork, timelines, metrics, stewardship checkpoints. What are you going to do with the next 12 months? Destiny moves from desire to calendar. Redeem the time. We now design the operating plan that turns this path into weeks, budgets, deliverables, and accountability. Destiny moves from desire to calendar schedule. What you say you value. Write this down. What are you going to do with the next 12 months? Put dates on destiny. Psalm 90:12, read out loud, go. Teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Number your days. Apply wisdom. Ephesians 5:15-16, be very careful how you live, redeeming the time. Time is a currency. Time is your equal salary. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours. What will you buy by December 31? Plan stack now. Document a plan. Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain so he may run who reads it. Purpose statement, one sentence that answers, who am I sent to serve and what value will I deliver this year? Make it audience specific and assignment true. Next, 3 annual outcomes, only 3, each with a number and a date. Not get healthier, but reduce body fat to X% by month 10. Not grow revenue, but replace 100% of salary with signed contracts by month 9. Not be a better spouse, but 52 protected date nights, scheduled and kept. Then 12 monthly milestones, 1 per month per outcome. January course completed and sample delivered. February proposal pipeline at 20 qualified leads. March savings at 25% of runway target. Put dates beside each. Finally, weekly priorities. Top 3 every week tied to the month's milestone. If it doesn't serve the milestone, it waits. Do not try to please everyone. Time, budget, write this down. Appointments with your assignment. Block 10-15 hours per week divided into 4 accounts. Skill, relationships, revenue, rest. Example, skill, 4 hours, 2-hour deep work blocks. Relationships, 3 hours, 1 weekly date, 1 family meeting, 1 mentor call. Revenue, 5 hours, prospecting, proposals, delivery. Rest, 3 hours, Sabbath practice, exercise, prayer walks. If it is not on the calendar, it is not in your life. Genesis 1:14, God set lights to mark seasons and days and years. Mark your blocks, guard them. Resource map, books, choose 4 that target your top 2 skill gaps, 1 per quarter. Courses, enroll in 2 with deadlines and deliverables. Mentors, secure 1 primary and 2 situational advisors. Schedule monthly check-ins. Cash runway, automate transfers every payday toward your target amount date account. Accountability circle, 3 destiny depositors who receive your weekly priorities on Sunday night and your Friday report by 5 p.m. Proverbs 27-23, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Your flocks are skills, people, money, integrity. Know them. Review rhythm. Redeem the time by inspection. Verse 15, daily, scripture, purpose statement allowed, top 3 tasks confirmed, calendar review, distractions cut, first hour weekly, assess outcomes versus milestones. Move unfinished tasks. Reblock time. Send updates to your circle. First morning monthly. Close the month tally metrics. Celebrate wins. Repent of waste. Reset milestones. Luke 14:28. Sit down, count the cost, and finish. Write this down. Destiny honors details. Put dates on destiny. Schedule what you say you value. Wake up, redeem the time, and run your plan. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is where plans become vows. Read out loud, go. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. Ephesians 5:15-17. Write this down. Be careful. Redeem the time. Understand his will. Time is a currency. Time is an appointment with your assignment. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours. What will you buy by obeying God today? Seal it now, not later. Later is a thief dressed as a friend. Public commitment. Write this down. I will choose an exit path and I will publish it to my accountability circle. Name it in one sentence. Stay, shape, stage, or sprint, and put a date beside it. Within 72 hours, you will execute 3 actions. Example, schedule the mentor meeting for this week. Initiate the automatic transfer toward runway. Draft and send the one-page role-shaping proposal or the resignation timeline if you are staging. Or, if safety demands sprinting, document incidents and contact the proper authorities today. Send the proof, calendar invites, screenshots of transfers, a dated proposal to your circle by the deadline. Why? Because James 2:17 says, faith without works is dead. Seal it with works. Seal it with dates. Seal it with witnesses. Redeem the time. Boundary vow. Write this down. One person I will limit access to. One mentor I will increase access to. Do not try to please everyone. Name the drainer. Limit their access window. Remove late night access. Mute for 90 days and write the sentence. I am at capacity executing a 90-day priority. I'll reconnect after the review. Now name the depositor book a standing monthly check-in. Send your weekly priorities every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Request candid feedback. Nehemiah 6:3 remains your script. I am doing a great work and cannot come down. Your borders are holy. Your calendar is your altar. Got it? Take courage. Time changes everything. Ecclesiastes 3 declares that God makes everything beautiful in his time. Last year's pain was yesterday. Steward today. Lamentations 3 says his mercies are new every morning. New mercies require new management. Psalm 30 promises weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Morning is here. Number your days. Apply your heart unto wisdom. Redeem the time. Now seal it with a communal charge. Speak it to your circle before Sunday, 7 p.m. Send your Friday report by 5 p.m. for the next 12 months, outcomes, milestones, and the next week's top 3. Pray for each other. Correct each other. Celebrate fruit, not feelings. Everybody say destiny. Make decisions based on your destiny. Walk in wisdom. Redeem the time. And let this be the last year you waste.